Hey there everybody, how's it going? Okay, so what we're doing now is just moving back into the front of this again, and we're going to use our small library here of parts, just here, just to add detail to it. Then we're going to add some panel palettes, actually I'll probably add those first, and a few other things. I'm also going to repair this area, which looks like it's quite damaged, or is it? No, it's not. Cool. Surprising as well. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to start hiding some parts. I'll just use hide by hit. There we go. Turn it round. Go to the inside of this as well. That leaves us just with this kind of shape here. The thing I like about this is you can kind of use this with or without the wings as well. You could literally make these an optional extra and just drop these with a thud. Anyway, I digress. Now, what we need to do is work out some sizes, and got to get these bits extruded on the side here. So, what I'm going to do up here is just look at this shape here. Now, if I was to inset it at the moment, like this, obviously you can see that we've got this polygon issue going on up here. However, this can be resolved quite easily. If I just Z for zoom on that, by using just some target welding. Like so. And that just leaves us with this one shape here. Now the good thing about that, of course, is that we can then just do a small extrude. A small positive extrude. And then do a grow, control, select by edge, and just do a chamfer. Again, we're not going for overly elaborate details on the front here, in these places anyway. We're going to add a couple of kind of camera lenses and things, presumably so that the guys who kick this out of the carrier are able to see where it's going. But that's about it. Okay, same again here. And we'll do a target weld. There we go. To there. Pull back. Just grab this piece. Again, just another extrude, grow, select control by edge, and chamfer. Okay, there we go. Now up here, because we're no longer using symmetry, I'm going to make a slightly uneven piece just up here. So let's see what we've got. Do an inset, and then I'm going to just squeeze it in on this axis a bit, bring it over this way to about there. Let's do an extrude. Now I'm just going to grow it out, and again control click and chamfer. This is just, easy ways of just putting in some nice simple detail for us. Okay, in here, let's check I did chamfer that properly, and I did, thank goodness. So in here again, just select these two polygons, do an inset, check the corners are okay, and just another extrude, control select. Oop, didn't grow it. There we go. I was wondering why this one hadn't selected properly. And down here. Okay, another quick chamfer. And back out. Gonna have a small one down here. And what I said, we don't particularly need these huge ones, so there we go. Maybe there, and just move it down or up, or move it up, this one. Perhaps I could split it as well. Let's do a connect. And then perhaps an inset by polygon. Bring that out a bit. There we are. A small extrude. we go. Just grow it, Control Select, and a quick chamfer. So you can see just these small details we're adding to it are just giving our model a kind of sense of scale. They don't actually do anything particularly, they're just sticking out areas. However, they add a kind of focal depth to our model. Inset, by group this time. Press F4. Okay, I'm just going to take this vert here, just pull it down to about there. I can insert these by poly. Reduce that inset amount. Remember, every time I make one of these, I'm probably going to rivet it or put rivets in the corner of it. So be aware that there's a good chance we might make quite a few polygons here. Okay, extrude, Control Select, and don't make these extrude out too far, otherwise you're going to have quite a mess to clean up on your hands. Also, I'm not going to bother putting anything up there. The only things I've bothered putting up this high for actual details, whereas these are just kind of blocks. Probably not going to put anything down that side either. I don't know, I'll have a look. Maybe a single insert. By polygon. By group, there we are. I don't know, maybe that'll work quite well as a kind of welded point. Remember, we're in no particular rush here. We don't have a deadline. I'm not grading you on your work. Just take your time. I'm going to select that one again, actually. There we go. That's a nice little angle there. It seems a shame to lose it. Get rid of this one though. Okay, and zoom it. Press F4, that way I can see any glaring errors as I make them. Okay, that seems fine. I'm quite pleased with that. Now up here, I'm going to insert this and then extrude it. Grow, Control Select by and chamfer. Didn't even need to view the poly edges for that piece. Over here, we can do perhaps this one as a big piece. Press F4 so I can see that we're not breaking any polygons here. If I really want to, and I think I probably will, I'm going to select here, down to here, do a connect. And then what I can do is over here, because we're breaking these into kind of panel pieces where we can as well, do a quick connect. Quick insert and extrude. Grow it, Control Select. There we are. And then chamfer it. Have a quick look over. That's quite a nice piece there. I might double on this one. So what I'll do is find a nice piece, something like this one. Maybe insert it again. Got to watch that corner there though. Second extruded plate on that, then click grow, do that in chamfer. This gives a nice double plated effect there. Maybe a repair taking place, maybe that's something else, who knows. Okay, in here I'll just do the bottom one of these, I think. Inset it and press F4 just to check the verts. Now do an extrude. It's easier not actually viewing the polygons at this point, simply because of the amount of polys we're working with. It just makes it a little bit faster for processing. There we go. And let's have a quick look here, see if there's anything I can do just to make this look a bit nice. Now ideally, what I'd like is to have an inset poly, and you can see that corner's absolutely ruined, yeah. I'd like to have an inset piece come in here that's actually rectangular, and we can't do that because of the shape of this piece. So I'm just going to zoom down here as well just to look at that. Oh, it's just that piece. So what I could do is just draw a box on top of it, which is easy enough. As you know, we just get our box, make sure we've got auto grid on, just find a place where we can do that. Just of course lining them up on this kind of surface isn't particularly easy. So if you want to have a fart around doing that, please feel free. Okay, over here got a couple of nice pieces I just want to highlight. So what we're doing with this as well is just highlighting the shape we built, because it's a lovely shape. So click grow, hang on, didn't extrude it, there we are. Now grow that, control select by edge, zoom in on it. Well, we can chamfer all these. Just check these haven't buggered up any. So what I'll do is I'll just group select those and do a quick weld. There we go, that gets rid of the ones we don't want. Hooray, pull back. Check over our model again, looking for other places where we can dump stuff. A nice big plate on the side there. Maybe down here. Do an inset. Nice little extrude. Change the setting now and again just to get rid of some of the real kind of conformist building we're doing. Okay. And what I'm going to do definitely down here, select this one and just extrude the pair. Insert the pair. So F4 just to check them. That's fine. Extrude, grow, select, chamfer. That's a fast operation there. Okay, that looks good. Now remember we had this bit slightly offset over here. What I'm going to do is just zoom in on it, and then I can put a couple of pieces up here perhaps. Just use a cylinder. I've reset max since we used it last, so one height segment. I'll just pull this out here. Right click, convert to editable poly. Grow, control I, delete off the back. Okay, let's zoom in on it. Let's say 4. And for this perhaps just some sort of weird little camera fella. So what we're looking at here is just making a kind of camera eye. Might be easy just to use the actual bevel function this way. Reduce the outline a bit. Apply. Reduce the height. Apply. And then just collapse that. And just bring this final vert in. Like so. Now just go around and do a couple of quick chamfers. So a loop there. That's one there and one there. Not a huge chamfer, obviously. Maybe here as well. Okay. probably all we need really. And what I can do now is just shrink it down and make a small array of them. Firstly though, I'm just going to do this bit at the back. I'm sure you know what I'm doing, it's easy enough. Loop, create shape, linear. Select our shape. There we go. Good old world line. I'm going to select it. Just use my select tool here. Control I, delete. Alright, now with this selected, I'll just attach this piece at the back. Now I can do some scaling fun on it, so I'll take our original, which is here, make a copy of it. In my copy, I can start messing around with the scale on it and get something I like. A little bit pointed at the front, but I can sort that out easily enough. There we are. Gives us that. Now, because it's a non-uniform scale, I need to reset the X-form on it. I'm going to bring this over to here. Bring this over as well. Those two there, and then bring these down to here. I'll move the entire 4 over to about there, and then just attach them on. Just a minor piece there, doesn't do much and it's hard to see, but it breaks up the shape. Whereas everything is usually very straight and angular, we've now added curved pieces to it. Yeah. Okay, now what I want to do here is unhide by name, and let's see, I'm going to have the wing. Because we've got these lovely lights here that we made, it seems a shame to waste them. So I'm just going to grab one, and its corresponding bits. I'll just use this. If I actually do a marquee grab, it'll probably be easier. Deselect that bit. Now if I drag it out like this, I can clone it to an object, hide this piece. Now with this piece selected, effect pivot only sent to object, effect pivot only off, zoom in. Now if you recall, I've been using angle snap all the time, so I can snap this back just by moving it like that. Now if I tilt it this way 90 degrees, bring it over here, it's just ready to go pretty much. Just go in my correct viewport. So perhaps if I have one there, and I'll just have an original, make a copy. Make it a little bit smaller perhaps. And then make another copy of it just here, which I'll make even smaller. Like so. Drop in perspective a minute. Now, I'll take these three and just do a quick reset on them and convert them back to Edward Poly. and now dump them into the front of our vehicle here. That's where they start to intersect. There we go. Now I'm going to attach the other two to this one. Then I can mirror it as a copy. And then just move it across like so. There we go. Now, if I take our original main chassis, I'm going to attach these on. This, I've done it before, I'll do it again. Reset. Right click, convert to editable poly. Select by element, make sure everything's selected and just flip. Now attach it. Better to do it now than later. Perspective zoom. So now we have our simple lighting rig at the front of the vehicle. And we have a spare kind of Klieg light thing just here. Never hurts to overuse a detail if you can help it, so zooming down here, and perhaps I can have a couple just here as well. Obviously if you've got slightly more detail you could steal off your model, please do. I'm going to have two here, and I think that's all. I don't want to overuse this. I've just created 8, so there we go. Good thing is though, the scaling on the front makes them look like they're different size, so. Over here, let's look at these pieces, check everything's working together okay. I'm probably just going to add a kind of weld box into this and set this and extrude it inwards. And just chamfer. There we go. Zoom out. Okay, so you can see now we've added enough detail to the front to kind of get away with it for the moment. What I might do though is just perhaps individually do something with these. Actually no, I'll just rivet it. It's easier. Okay, now have a quick check of these pieces, because I think these are still a group, so I'll ungroup them. And I think this one needs to have its pivot point checked. I think it'd be easy just copying it again. Actually, I didn't use that one that much anyway, so I'll just delete it and not bother. The main ones I'm going to use the small rivet and the 2 different size bolts. So, Max Script. I'm going to use the Run Script placement tool. Grab this, set selection as source, distribution 1 for small bolt, distribution 2 is the big bolt, and distribution 3 is the little rivet. Okay, now if we look at the minute, that's still huge, so I'm just going to change this down to about 3. That way we can place it much better. Okay, and the first one I'm going to use is going to be the rivet head. Remember, the rivet head should be used primarily in places where we're fixing 2 bits of metal to each other. Sorry about that. No, where was I? Oh yeah, so we're going to place rivets like that, yeah? So here, for example, we have them in 3s. 1, 2, 3. Because this is how we're likely to have them in a build. 1 there, and 1 there. Anyone who's done the Dreadnought 2 will probably recognise my style of placement. It hasn't changed much, because it works. Let's try and get them to line up, because it would obviously be machine placed and so it'd be accurate, whereas we're doing it by hand and we're not. I'm sure you can get away with a couple of little quirks where it's been hand repaired perhaps, but don't make too many quirks. because it'll look crap. There we go. And there. All we're doing is imagining that this is made out of tight fitting pieces, just as if it was a ship floating on water, and these pieces have to be held together in every major area. So use your crosshairs carefully. There we go. Now then, remember, if it's a permanent piece, we're interested in the rivet. If you don't class it as a permanent piece, or you don't want the user to think of it as being a permanent piece, go ahead and use the bolts. Alright? So, for this one, for example, I'm going to go round and rivet at these various corner points, and then I'm going to use bolts on that second bracket there, which we're going to treat as a removable plate. So it's kind of screwed on top of the riveted plate. Remember, we still have the wing to do as well, by the way. And by only riveting the areas that are actually extruded as detail pieces, we can keep the number of rivets down to a bare minimum, the rest of which we can consider to be a fabricated metal. Who would have thought that sci-fi would be so excitingly dull at times like that? Where are we going to place the rivets? You're going to watch a 40-minute video on riveting. Might as well have taken that job down the steelworks. There we go. Okay, let's do this one as well. This is a big piece, so you might want to consider adding a few more extra rivets on it. There's a couple of vert errors over there that I'm going to need to go and sort out in a few minutes. Remember, always keep your eyes open for vertex errors. Okay, I don't think I need that last rivet there, so I'm not going to keep it. Continue to go round. Careful placement. Not really I can say about this. Hey, do you want to see a rivet? Yes, there you go. How about another? Yes please. There we are. Fortunately, the method that I came up with using the placement tool, which I actually haven't seen anywhere else, I was very glad that I came up with it, is a fantastic way of fast detailing. I mean, you can get so much new detail onto your piece using this. There we go. And it definitely makes your piece look like it was constructed rather than just made from about 4 polygons. Remember, if it's only a small piece of metal, don't use too many rivets on it. There we go. Same here. You'll notice that this is a kind of split piece now. It's held at the bottom and the top on these 2 separate pieces of metal here, yeah? But it works. Now, let's leave the front chassis and go to the back now. Press F4 if you're not 100% sure. Don't over rivet, even if there is an edge there, which there is. And do remember, you're going to have a lot of rivet pieces here, okay? There we go. I'm not going to put one here, you'll notice. I'm going to put one in that corner. I imagine we're looking at a cost effectiveness here. So they're going to get away with as few parts as possible in the actual machining process, because frankly they could give a damn what happens to this ship once it lands anyway, if you remember how it's built. There we go. quick look in here. One there and one there, even though it already looks like it's riveted because of the shape of it. Couple there, and here. A lot of the riveting in this, if you think about it, is just ways to stop tampering with the actual engineered pieces, yet provide accessibility. There we go. Also, if you have a uniform piece like this, where you've done symmetry on both sides, remember that applying your rivets in a slightly different manner, like for example here, is something that's noticeable, changes your model distinctly on one side from the other. There we go. And over to here. Now, I've riveted this piece, so I'm definitely going to do this one. Though I suspect at this point this ship is the only thing riveted in this tutorial. Okay, now turn this off as a distribution object and pick this one. And this is our smaller bolt. There, 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 and there. Lovely great big bolts they are. Going to give a nice effect. Over here, just going to apply 2. Try and get the line up, obviously. Excellent way of modelling. And incredibly flexible. As long as you don't blow your copy of 3D Studio Max up or your computer up by adding far too many details. Nice smaller bolt here. Further to the right. Spin that one a bit more. And there. And of course the good thing is I'm going to switch that to there. Place that. There we go. Pull back around this side. Have our big bolts, or we can have our little bolts, and we go for our big bolts again. Good thing about sizing this targeter here as well is that you can really place it a lot more precisely using it. What I'm doing is I'm lining up the left edge here to the chamfer because I know my bolt is actually just inside that, so I'm not getting an overlap. There we go, and then here, and stop. Pull back, and that's a lot of bolts. Come around this side. Excellent, all working for me. Just reduce that. Now what I have to do is connect all these together, so make sure I'm not locked here. Select tool, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to hide this once I've grouped it again, just for a minute. Now I'm going to add everything on this together, and there's a lot of it. Before I do, I'll just have a quick look and see what object 1 is, however. Where's object 1? It's invisible. Never mind. It's about to become a part of this now. I think it's just a loose polygon sitting in the middle of nowhere. Soon find out. If something massively important goes missing, we'll know what it is. So, press H. Oh, no, press attach. Here we are. I'm going to attach everything. And it looks like there's 132 flat rivet heads to attach, so it might take a minute. There we go. And I'm just going to save this as well, just on the off chance. Let's call it temp, because we know what 3D Studio Max is like at the best of times. Okay, so we've just converted this into a very heavy polygon model, not that it wasn't already. Now the next thing we're going to do is unhide the wing. So unhide all and hide certain parts, obviously, so I'm going to give it a this. Once I've checked that it's been riveted, and I think it has. Yeah, it has. Hide this. And hide this. Okay, now, just looking at the wing. Take this and this, hide unselected. Okay, and I'm going to ungroup this. Bring this out. Now I've still got our bolt heads and things here, so what I want to do is set this as my source, and then I can paint straight onto it again. As you can see, I'm going to change this again down to 3 though, which is exactly the right height for me. Okay, now let's have some fun going around it and just doing some riveting. So, did I say fun? There we are. There and there. And there. And there. Press H so I can see my polys. Just doing 2 here. Make a mistake, just go back and undo it. It's not worth having it in the wrong position, because you're going to have a hell of a job once all the polygons are on. This is why I've waited until this point to apply the riveting to the entire chassis, because otherwise it's going to slow our system down a lot. There we are. You could also, if you wanted to, model broken rivet heads. I mean, obviously this takes slightly longer, and I'm not going to do it myself, but you can make different kind of chipped rivet heads and all sorts of things. There we are. It works nicely. And over here I'm going to give the illusion that this is sunk in, so I just have to put 4 rivet heads around it, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that gives us now the impression that something actually sunk in and held in place. And then over here, let's go to our small bolts. There, maybe 1 here and here, or maybe just 2 here. There we go. Flip that off and go here. Okay, that works for me. Flip it over, have a look on the underside. Obviously there's not as much detailing down here, simply because I didn't put it in. Remember though, you can get a lot of detail, or emphasis of detail, just by placing a couple of rivets. People are given the impression there's something there even when there isn't. Like that. See? And it's not completely necessary, however, it gives a nice effect. Also over here I can use my small bolts here and here that now attach on this piece. Try and get them lined up if you can, but it's not important. We could just use a rivet head on the other side, or a giant bolt head, or anything else you want. So for example, if I press F3 now and go through the other side, just try and get this lined up as best I can as well while I'm doing it. There we go. If I use F3 now, I can put a rivet head here, here, here and here. Check F3. That one's a little off. There we go. Now we've got them on the other side of the bolts, literally supporting them. Also, because this is a split piece here, wouldn't hurt to run some up. Don't overdo it. Remember what I said. We're looking at kind of, with this one, certainly a cost-cutting operation. And they really aren't supposed to care if this thing falls apart in mid-air, particularly, as long as some of them make it there, you know. Heartless but amusingly cruel. There we go. This leaves us a slightly better defined and detailed piece. Haven't gone underneath and done these ones yet. I think what I'll do is I'll use small bolts for it, like that. Just change this back to 3. There we are, and here. Just to give us the feeling this really is kind of rough hewn together. There we are. Nice mixture of styles in there as well. Now I can group this again and hide it. Just call it group. There we are. So if we unhide all now, unhide this selection. See, lovely. Now at the back here, of course, we haven't done this bit. Hooray! So unhide all again. Take that too. Hide unselected. Let's bring our toolbox over. Oops. There we go. Zoom in on it a bit. Okay, let's ungroup this and run our Max script. Is that my Max script? No, Max script, run script. There it is. Okay, now we've got two pieces here, remember, that one and the door, so we'll do this one first. Set selection as source, and for our primaries this time, let's have a look and see what we've got. I think I'm going to use small rivet, small bolt, big rivet. Okay, have a look at it again. Right, so small rivets first. I think I'm going to use a fair few of these as well. I'm going to change this down to 3 because it's, like I've said, the right size. Put that kind of junction box in there. I'm not going to do very much else with this, I suspect, although I might put one in here and here, just so that these can be used as serviceable parts. God knows why. Go our smaller rivet flatheads here. notice that they're not being placed because of course this isn't the right object. Silly me. On there. Actually I'm going to change these to the larger rivet flatheads. There we are. Because we can't fit two small rivets, but we can fit one sodding great big one. Okay. Now along the top here, we can use some small rivets. They separate this up nicely. Just riveting it along the top here. Okay. Take that out. Now select this and do the attach bit. And I think I'll just do an interactive attach here just to save mucking about. I'll find which bits I'm adding in. And there's not enough here really for me to have to worry about getting the wrong bits. There we are. There's a couple of pieces there that could do with some riveting actually still, so 4, get placement. I'll use the smaller ones on this side, why not? Let's be daring. Okay, now select this and attach these in as well. I think I'll just attach the door in as well, which was a mistake. There we are. Okay, now over here, select the door and make this our selection source. Now we've got our little rivets here, so let's use those. Again, change this to a 3. Use your crosshairs to work out where you're placing stuff. I've got a slight overlap which I'm using to my advantage. If you wanted to actually get this one to match up, I'd probably set it to 1.5. I'm finding it a lot more useful using this as a kind of targeting thing that's slightly over, so I'm getting it in the right place. You could theoretically just make one, of course, and spend absolutely bolt loads of time dropping it in the right position, but you'll be here all day, whereas I won't. There we go. Like so. Alright. I think we've pretty much got those done. Actually a little bit more that I want to do over this side, so I'll just do the attaching. Again, please be careful not to attach the door and this area together, unless that is your plan, because you won't be able to make your door open and close then. Good thing about this is you don't have to make it into a suicide drop pod, and you can just load all sorts of things in the back. Take the Dreadnought in the back, for example, take it for a ride. There we go. In here. And let's make this a user serviceable area. So, let's see. Yep, that'll do. Pop some of these in. Just to be careful, the door can still open while they're still in there. And it can just, so we haven't destroyed our pretend reality yet, thank goodness. Wrong way, there. And there. Okay, zoom out. Woohoo! Awesomeness. grab that and group. Okay, and that, believe it or not, is pretty much detailed on this piece. Oops, wrong one, I'd selected. Hang on, why did I do that? I'd selected. Now what we need to do over here, press F4, is start duplicating our actual wing system. Now at the minute it's still just one piece, and we can actually copy it as a group so that we can keep it separate from everything else, which I prefer to do. So let's grab those, group, and we'll call this the wing group 1, because obviously we're going to make a copy of it. Now I'll take wing group 1 and make a copy of it. No clone. Sorry, copy. Okay, just check our viewports. I want to get this accurate. We can tell what it is because there's a gap there. There we go. Press F3 so I can see what it's doing. There we go. A little bit more in. There. Drop out in perspective and zoom. Okay, I'm actually starting to get somewhere. So, in the next part of the tutorial, I'm going to put some detail on the top. Then, we're going to make the things what it crashes onto, kind of landing feet, just simple ones. And then I'll probably just make some basic shaders to whack onto it. So until then, thanks very much for watching. Hope you've been having a nice time, and see you in the next one.